Well, this is a bit of a look at the other big section next door. I've taken 2 videos and they both, well, one won't share because it's in a private group, and this one and the other one was such terrible quality. But anyway, this is where I planted the mushroom spore, the wine cap, and there's still a few of them around. See these chairs? I'll explain them so you don't think I'm really weird. They are there, usually turned over upside down because I get tired walking around, so I go and sit down when I need to. This is obviously a camellia that I cut back last year, and I'll probably chop and drop that too. Not terribly keen on camellia, but there's a whole bunch of comfrey, and there's comfrey over there. And I got somebody to plant a whole heap of comfrey not long after I got here, and the stupid tart put the roots in upside down. There's no accounting for dumbness. Anyway, it's a load of horse poo that I put out there, especially because each time it gets wet, the insects come in, come in to eat and do whatever they're doing. And the fantails eat the insects. So the fantails will sit up in the trees when I'm not here, and they'll come down, and quite often I can see them from the house. They're scoffing out on insects. Here is more mushrooms. Mushrooms feature very widely in this garden. There's some nice ones just down there, and another one there and there. Those ones will all end up in fairly I'll send them on Monday. But yeah, that's a big old conifer tree that was here, and that's a bottle brush. Bees love that. Gosh, they go crazy over it. Oh gosh, and more mushrooms. There's all those orange ones. There's a few million of those. But yeah, no matter how fast I pick these mushrooms, they still end up getting away on me. This is the walnut tree, which has grown. See that thing there? That's how tall it was. What am I pointing at? Oh yeah, that's how tall it was when I first came. So that is 3 years growth, and I noticed that there's quite a few, like about 20 walnuts that I've noticed on the ground, and it's only ever had 1 walnut a year before that. So maybe it likes the arborist mulch underneath. Over here, when I spread this mulch around, the guy that bought the mulch says, "I remember you can't plant anything," and I said, "I'll show you." So I planted these, and it looks like there's different types of, what do you call it, clover. And I think there's a couple of other things in there. They were all very small seeds, and I planted them in there. Of course, they're growing really well. A few weeks now. I don't know if I said, but that's another 5 meters of mulch that I was going to spread around, but I've decided to leave it like that, and it's going to be my big worm farm, because man, the worms go crazy under mulch. They get so big and fat. I don't like the worm farm ones. I like the garden worms. This is one of the fig trees. Got about 4 or 5 figs off that this year. More comfrey. And see down here, although the frost is getting it, that's kumara. The vines are regrowing. I have no doubt I'll have kumara growing here everywhere this year, next spring. That's Sawdust Mountain, which was flat all in there, and when I got the pathways made, I put all the sod that they took out to put the paving stones down. Then I covered it with sawdust, and then I covered it just last week with more mulch, same as I did that area down there last week. That's 5 meters of mulch in there. And oh look, more mushrooms. It is actually a surprise that they're here, because I never put them, this garden wasn't even here when I put the mycelium down, and yet they're growing all over the place. I don't know what these are. They're some kind of brassica, I guess. But I don't know, I just pick the leaves off and when I feel like it and put them in and cook them. They're really nice. This is, I don't know, one of the natives. I knew at one stage, but I see it's all, their tips have been burnt with the frost. But I think there's enough there that it'll come back next year. More comfrey. Interesting, the leaves are wrinkly on the outside. And then yet more mushrooms. And I took about 20 kilos of mushrooms out of here last Monday. And they're coming up everywhere. And this was the other place that I actually did put the mycelium. But see, there's tons of them. And there's some more little ones down here, which I reckon will end up going down to Fairley too. Or perhaps to Invercargill, depends how big they are by Monday. This is a plum tree with a bird's nest in there. This is getting a really, really big haircut in July. And then I've asked people to send me cuttings off their various plum trees, and I'm going to try grafting onto it. There's actually a passion fruit that that's climbing up into the tree. I did that on purpose. I don't know whether it'll get through the the winter with the frost, but we'll see. And then here's me duckies, my drakes. See that noise? That's the noise that a drake makes. Ducks are the ones that quack. And then 6 little bantams down here. That's a chook. That's a rooster there. And he just started crowing yesterday. And the rest of the chooks. They've stopped laying unless they've found somewhere new to lay. And because they've got so much area, they can wander around. I'm sure they don't. Another couple of, there's a fig tree there and a fig tree there. I hope they make it through the winter. But, and I got like 12 sacks of horse poo that I spread around there and there. Gosh, I've got to sit down. And I'll move some of this mulch, or that half-rotted sawdust over there, I'll move that over onto this garden sooner or later. And just let it winter. Should be good for kumara next year. Kumara grew really, really huge and didn't split. And I got about 25 kilo off a couple of plants in here. So, but the chooks have been out a couple of times and I can see where they've been scarfing into the various little bits of veggies and stuff that I got. But yeah, that's the last 5 metres, although I've taken off about 1.5 metres. And that's just going into places that need a little bit thicker. But yeah, this is the infamous garden. What's under that plum tree is the mulch that I didn't put down. But all the rest from here, which is about a third of this 2/3 of the section, is stuff that I've put down one wheelbarrow load at a time. And that was the crappiest grass section about 10.5 months ago. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because this year I didn't want to grow anything in particular, but I got, must be 70 kilos of mushrooms now, and 50 kilos of kumara, and that was from something that I wasn't really expecting anything to grow. This is just to build up the soil. I might actually take some of that that load away. But boy, the worms go crazy over it. Absolutely insane. But apart from knocking all the weeds down, you don't get weeds in this stuff. Well, you do, but they're very, very easy to pull out. Like in this area in here, which has been down for about 4 months, I left, well, I actually think that I planted the clover. There's a little thing of weeds there, and there's a little bit of yarrow over there, and there was one paspalum, but I pulled that out, and it was really easy to pull out. So yeah, weeds don't like it. But also when it rains and the water goes through the decomposing mulch, then it makes like a compost tea for the garden, for the lawn. So when it's been raining and raining, I know that everything is going down into the dirt that was underneath and turning it into rich soil. But yeah, like I say, I'm interested to see what happens next year, what she grows. Okay, catch you later.